Welcome back to another episode of the Biggest Little Fitspo Podcast. I'm your host, Samantha Pfisterer. This podcast is based out of the biggest little city, Reno, Nevada. In this podcast, we'll explore fitness in any and all aspects of the word. This podcast is here to keep you motivated throughout the year by hearing the stories of your peers, your idols, and your hashtag goals. And here's a disclaimer. I am by no means a doctor, a nutritionist, or a certified personal trainer. I am sharing my own personal knowledge for what has worked or not worked for me, and the guests are doing the same unless otherwise noted. Always consult with a doctor, nutritionist, or certified personal trainer before trying any methods for yourself. On today's episode, we have my friend Theresa. She's a general fitness enthusiast and currently just killing it in the gym. And I met her way back when in college. I believe we were both pursuing some sort of English-related degree, so of course our classes and our paths crossed. Come along with us today as she shares what's gotten her where she is today. Without further ado about anything, let's hop right into today's episode and hear Theresa's journey. All right, Theresa, hi, good morning. Thanks for coming on my podcast and being my first guest.
Good morning, thanks for having me.
I kind of said who you were in the intro and everything, so let's just get started with who you are, how old are you, and kind of how long you've been active.
I'm Theresa, I'm 32, and I've been active since 2012 or so about the last 10 years.
Very cool, very cool. So what was your first fitness experience? Was it bad and you wanted to improve and get better, or was it awesome and you just were super inspired to keep going?
So my first fitness experience was actually with my brother. He took me to the gym with him. I had been overweight my entire life. After high school, it became a lot worse, and I was in a really comfortable relationship which just allowed me to settle with my body. I was really inactive, and for the better part of my life, I was really inactive. I did play soccer as a kid, but I didn't really stick with any of that. I didn't really realize how important fitness was. My brother took me to the gym for the first time when I got really serious about it in 2012, and I never looked back. That was a great experience for me, and I really did want to get better and work at it.
So mostly your motivating factor was because you were overweight and you just wanted to take control of your health. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I think it just kind of hit me one day. A pair of pants didn't really fit, and they should have.
Was it your favorite pair of pants?
No, it was my biggest pair of pants.
Oh, gotcha. I guess what fitness avenue did you start with, and then have you continued with that, or what sort of fitness avenues have you gone down? Which is your favorite? Kind of let's talk about that.
So I started with the gym, and I had no idea really what I was doing. My brother had given me a few pointers, but I didn't really know where to go from there. I thought cardio was really important, so I did cardio for an hour every single day, and then I would do circuit training because that's what he had shown me. I would just go down and do the circuit, so I do full body toning basically. And then my friend introduced me to Kaya Fit in 2014. I started doing that and I loved it. The coaches were extremely inspiring and motivating. It was something really fun to do. I was able to do it with my friend, so it was a social thing. And through both of those things, I was able to lose a significant amount of weight. I think in the first year probably, I lost 50 or 60 pounds. And then I just kept going.
Let's circle back to circuit training and kind of explain that a little bit, just in case our listeners aren't super familiar with all the types of working out. What would you consider circuit training?
So the circuit training I was doing was basically the machines at the gym, but they did have it set up in a circuit in a circle, so I could just hit each one because I was at Body Fuel at that point over in Sparks. I would hit I would do the leg press and hamstring curls, and then I would move on to bicep curls and a tricep push down. I think I remember being there. So those kinds of things. Yeah, it was really great for me to get experience with those gym machines. He kind of taught me the model of, it was 8, 10, 12 or something for reps. So it was higher reps, a little lower weight. So that was a really good benchmark for me to start at.
You're talking about Kaya Fitness.
Kaya. So that was great because that kind of gave me an intro point to HIIT, which is still very cardio based. But at that point I kind of needed it.
And then for our listeners who don't know what HIIT is, it's high intensity interval training. So a lot of, I don't know, how would you burpees and stuff? Or?
Yeah, burpees and jumping jacks and in between sets. So like there is minimal weight use in Kaya. So you would use a kettlebell, you would do a set of those, and then you would do a set of burpees, and then you would go do another set of the kettlebells.
Basically just to get your heart rate up and high intensity type of workout, like really pushing yourself.
Yeah, precisely.
Were we doing Kaya together? Because I know I did Kaya. I don't know if I was before you or after you.
I think I had already done it, and then I remember you doing it, which I think did trigger me to do it again at some point. Because I've done it a lot over the years. I've done probably like 10 brick programs, which is their like 6-week program, and they give you a nutrition plan and the workout. You get to go to several workout classes during the week. That's like their main selling point is that program. And that really did motivate me to keep going at that point. And so I was doing that for several years. And then I started dating a climber. And the climbing started, which was a really great thing for me in the end, actually. It did push me to do something very out of my comfort zone. And it made me feel so much stronger because climbing is full body, and we were going a lot because he was really serious about it. So I think we went to the climbing gym twice a week for like 3 hours each time. And then while we were there is when I discovered yoga. So I really got into yoga at that point. Kaya had some yoga, but I didn't really connect with it through Kaya. It was more at the climbing gym that I had connected with yoga. And I kept that up for a couple of years. And I like to keep yoga in my practice today. That has become a very important part of my fitness. It really does make me feel like my best self when I'm on the mat. And it makes me feel my strongest. And I can really see a lot of progress. There was a while when I was just doing climbing and yoga. I wasn't doing any cardio, and I did lose a significant amount of weight at that point too, because I was also doing like a plant-based diet thing, which I had learned from Kaya, because they, for some reason, don't really push the protein.
Push protein or push meat?
Okay, meat, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, we all need protein.
Yeah, they did. It was mostly like protein shakes and stuff I feel like I was doing when I did Kaya. It was a lack of meat, which just drove me to do the shakes and plant-based stuff.
And we can talk about yoga for a little bit. I remember when I was doing Kaya too and doing that like once a week, maybe it was twice a week, but like the yoga thing, I was so excited for it because I have always wanted to do crow pose. Like that has always been my goal because I think you look like such a badass just balancing on your hands. And that was always a super struggle for me. And then I remember at the very end of brick, I was able to hit crow pose for a couple seconds, but I was so excited and so proud of myself. So I guess did you have like a benchmark pose that you wanted to be able to successfully complete in yoga?
It was a headstand, actually. That was what I had been working towards. Most of the instructors did pick a pose, at the end of each one that they were kind of working towards, and usually it was a headstand. So I actually did get it for the most part. My legs don't go completely straight, but I'm really close, and that's still kind of been my benchmark. That is what kind of makes me feel the strongest, and crow pose does really make you feel strong. I do agree with that. There's a few of those poses that they would throw in there at the end, and it was usually the same ones. I can't remember what they are anymore because it's been a really long time since I've been. But once you do hit those, it is like an incredible feeling. You do feel so strong and so powerful. And when you can like hold it for a while, when you first start, like, those poses are so hard and you don't think that you're going to be able to do it. But over the years, like it does start to become so much easier, and you can do it with ease, and that is also a really good feeling.
I need to get back into yoga.
Me too. Hot yoga, especially this time of year, is my jam. Like, it feels so good.
And for those of you, if you're listening from not in the biggest little city, we are in northern Nevada by the mountains, and it's currently 20-ish out, 30 maybe, a high of 40, mid 40s today, so it's a little chilly.
And then most recently I've gotten back into, or I guess I've more gotten into lifting. So I kind of hit a point where I stopped going to anything after climbing and yoga. I just canceled my memberships and wasn't really doing much. I would go to the gym and, walk on the treadmill or do the Stairmaster, but I didn't really have any direction. I didn't really know what to do. So I stumbled across the Instagram page that I use now. So I use Fit with ASD on Instagram. I can't even remember where I stumbled across her. I think I follow a lot of influencers, so that popped up, but she's not like the other influencers that you see on Instagram. I just felt like I really related with her. I liked that she did HIIT and lifting, so the high intensity interval training along with lifting, because that does fit in with what I like to do. I do like to keep my heart rate up. It makes me feel like I've gotten a really good workout. So I really liked that. She gives you a workout every single day for like 6 days a week. Sunday's a rest day. But she does a really good job of changing up the days of the workout. So there's legs 3 days a week, and those are generally Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. But then she will do like shoulders on Tuesday and chest and triceps on Thursday. So she has a really good split. So split routine is what it's referred to as. So I really enjoy that. And that's kind of where I've been lately, is doing that. Also during COVID, I did join the Peloton cult, quote unquote cult. They are also very motivating and inspiring, like Kaya, so I felt like I fit right in with that. It's not just the bike. There's so much more to the digital membership. It actually got me into running again because they have the running audio that you can run with, and they kind of coach you through it and tell you how your posture should be and where your pace should be at. My cardiovascular fitness improved so much during that time, and it made me feel really accomplished actually being able to run, because as a kid that was nearly impossible for me. So being able to do that now was quite an accomplishment.
I'm glad you brought up running, because in your track history of all your fitness activities, I was like, no, we ran together. I remember it was November and we were doing Girls on the Run, and I remember like waiting in my car for you, and I was like, it's freaking cold. Where is she? Like, let's just go get running. And
oh yeah. And then I'm pretty sure you passed me. I was just like, you go do your thing, because time is important. I'm pretty sure that 5K took me 45 minutes. And now I can do one in like 28 minutes or something. Like, it's been incredible.
I was gonna say, how does that make you feel? Just incredible that like was that also a goal, like to do a 5K at all, or was it just running, or what was your mindset for running?
No, it kind of gave me a break from COVID. I didn't have to think about that kind of stuff. It was mostly just for me mentally to break through it. Now I wish I could do another 5K. I probably should, but I just kind of have always enjoyed doing them in general. I didn't really have any goal with those. They're just fun to do, and the race mentality is a real thing. Once you're in it and you're running like with a bunch of people who have the same purpose, like you are motivated to go quicker and get that done. That always kept me motivated there, but the Peloton running just kind of was something for me.
And I know with the race mentality, like you're talking about, if you see other people out on the track, I guess, the course, if you see people out on the course, that it's nice to be motivated and stuff. I know I did the Leprechaun 5K, which are, I think, the same people who do Girls on the Run, Race 178.
Probably, yeah.
And it was the day after the Leprechaun Crawl, which crawls are also big here in Reno. And for those of you listening who don't know, it's basically you go to bars and you have a special cup and you get discounted drinks and everything. So I was not in the best state to be running. I was a lot hungover. And I saw one of the kayak coaches out on the field, and she saw that I was struggling, and she ran with me for a good stretch. So that's one good thing about Kaya is like you build friendships there, but they also continue outside of Kaya. Kaya definitely builds a good community. And I guess, would you say that's true for all of fitness in general? Like if you have a fitness friend, they just kind of support you and through whatever fitness avenue?
Oh yeah, 100%. Actually, one of the people that worked at the climbing gym became one of my friends, and they actually quit because they were pursuing a certificate in personal training through NASM, which I eventually tried to do. I went through all the training, but kind of lost motivation at the point where I needed to take the test, so I never finished it. But I did go through all the training, which did really help me. And he was so great in reaching out to me and seeing if I needed help, and he was willing to talk to me a little bit about the test and what I could really expect, and that was just, it was really great. The fitness community is such a community. Like, we all have each other's back and really do want to help each other succeed.
So what do you like best about where you are now? Would you say it's being back in the gym? Would you say it's following ASD? Fit with ASD?
Fit with ASD.
Fit with ASD. Like, and then I guess what's the most challenging about being where you're at?
So the most challenging actually has been my diet. I really don't have too many problems with staying motivated fitness-wise. I can usually find something that I want to do because I do have my hand in so many different avenues, and I do mix it up a little bit, but it's been the diet for me. I will get really comfortable in a relationship, and then they encourage me to eat poorly, and then I just start this downward spiral, and that is honestly where I'm at right now, and it has been such a struggle for me, but I'm lucky enough that my fiance
Congrats on that again.
Thank you. Does support me, and we are going to the gym together, and I meal prep our dinners to be friendly for my macros, because he doesn't really count any of those, and I know you're gonna talk about that later, but it is what I do. I count my macros, and that keeps me on track. I guess it is counting calories, but it's a little different. It's more of the bigger picture, and that's what I like about it. So I'm very fortunate in the fact that he does that now, and I feel like I'm getting back on track, but it is easy for me to get derailed, and when I do, it's bad. I have always been an overeater my entire life, which I think is what led to the weight gain in the first place. I think I kind of got that from my parents. They're a Midwest family, so eating is a big thing, and I think it just kind of trickled into my life unintentionally, and so that's something that I do have to be really aware of that could happen. So I think that's the most challenging thing for me.
Well, it's good that you have such a strong, immediate support system of your fiance.
Yes.
I definitely know over my track history of relationships, having men who were supportive of and encouraging of like, hey, when was the last time you went to the gym? How's your meal prep going? Versus men who didn't like, they weren't like anti-supportive, but they just didn't encourage. It's definitely good to have that.
Especially the ones that support you understand. I feel like they understand your lifestyle more, and they get you more. So yeah, I agree with that.
Let's hop into a little bit of advice. What advice do you have for newbies who are going into, would you say the gym is kind of your like main fitness goal now? Like you're not really doing, or would you say yoga is your main avenue? What would you say your trajectory is?
Yeah, lifting at the gym right now has been my main avenue. I think that is a good starting place for sure, but I can see how it would be overwhelming. So I would say find a trainer. They can definitely help you with what you need to do to get started. Go with a friend, somebody who is already into fitness. They can definitely help you. Find something that you want to do. It doesn't have to be the gym, and that's not necessary.
Yeah, but it's your fitness avenue, and this episode's about you.
Yes. There's so many other things you can do, and that's what I've always done. I've always just been willing to try new things, and you don't know that you're gonna like it until you try it. So be open to trying new things and find something that you enjoy, because that's the only thing that's really gonna keep you motivated, is if you like doing it. Once I found this lifting workout, I haven't really looked back, because I look forward to these workouts every single day. I get out of bed at 4:30 because I'm so excited to start my day and to do these workouts, because they're so much fun for me.
Do you beat your alarm then? Like, do you have your alarm set and you wake up before your alarm, or do you wake up with your alarm? How excited are you?
I do need an alarm, because that is very early, but my alarm goes off at 4:15. And then I'm generally out of bed by 4:30, 4:45. Okay. So that I can get through my workout for an hour and then be at work by 7. Okay. That's generally how that goes.
Are you more of a morning workout person then, or evenings?
Yeah, I definitely prefer to work out in the morning. A lot of stuff can come up in the afternoon, so that's another thing that keeps me going, is I know that I've gotten my workout out of the way. I don't have to worry about it and stress.
And then what advice would you have for people, someone to continue on? So I'd say we're basically equivalent in our fitness knowledge, probably you a little more so with your almost NASM certification. But like, if I was struggling, what advice would you give me to keep pressing on?
I mean, you have to do it for you. So you need to find that internal motivation. So we would need to help you find something that makes you tick. So yeah, I would just say find that thing, like switch your avenue if you need to. I think that's my biggest thing. If you get stuck in a rut, you probably really need to mix it up. So you got to find something that motivates you and makes you happy and makes you want to do it.
I like that. Do you have any final product that you're working for? I've got my track history of being an NPC bikini competitor, so like a show would be my end product. Like, do you have a body fat percentage or like muscle mass that you want to hit, a number on the scale? Like, what are you shooting for?
So body mass and scale numbers have always been my final product, I would say. And I feel like that can be a little problematic, and I'm having a really hard time finding that balance right now, actually, between where I feel my best and where I actually want to be, because my number on the scale and my BMI are way lower than where I think where my body is happy. So right now, my final product, I'm really just trying to lose like 15 pounds, I think, for the wedding is my final product at the moment.
Shredding for the wedding?
Yeah. Which I think has kept my fiance motivated too, because he wants to look good that day. We both want to look our best and feel our best. So I think we're both on like a 15 to 20 pound loss at the moment.
Very cool. And I do just want to give a disclaimer to our audience that like a 15-pound goal for Theresa would obviously look way different than 15 pounds on me. As I stated in my opening episode, I'm 5'9", so Theresa, you are
5'3.5" to 5'4", depending on the day.
Yeah, so there's like a 5-inch difference there. So it's always gonna look very different. Just a disclaimer there.
Yeah, that's my personal goal for myself, and that does actually put me at a very healthy BMI for me. That puts me at like, I think 24 BMI if I do that. So
well, I think that's pretty much everything. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you want to share for the listeners?
Just start. I don't wait until Monday. That's always the mentality, and then you don't do it. So if this is something that you want to do, I would say just start and do it. That's the only way it's gonna get done, is if you just do it, and that's what's worked best for me. I never wait. If I want to do something, then I just go and do it.
That's definitely a good piece of advice. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till Monday. Just do it now. Even if you're in jeans, like, you don't even have to like have a million workout outfits. Just work out in what you have with what you have, and there's always something out there for everybody. So let's talk about the workout you're going to put me through. What are we doing for our workout?
So it is a leg day that we're going to be doing. That's my typical Saturday. So since today is Saturday, here we are. It starts with a warm-up. It's 20 minutes of cardio, because it is important to get your body warmed up first. And then the leg day. So we'll probably start with that. we'll do the leg warm up, and then usually it goes into, squats and deadlifts, and I think that's what's on board for today.
I love deadlifts.
Real fun things.
Yes, buns of steel.
And then maybe the Stairmaster or some running for cardio today.
Probably, I'll stick with running because I did legs on Thursday and I'm a little sore, so I don't know if the stairs would allow me to do 20 minutes, so cool.
I'm pretty flexible with the workout. I kind of mold it. I have something to follow, but I mold it to what I'm feeling that day.
Nice. It's nice that it gives you that freedom and that flexibility. So if you see something on there that you're absolutely repulsed by, you can swap it out for something that's more up your alley.
Yes.
So definitely for the listeners out there, hop over to my YouTube, youtube.com/itsasam thing to see our workout and see how I do after doing legs just 2 days ago. So where else can they find you? Like, what social media avenues do you have that people can follow your fitness journey on?
So I had an Instagram that I haven't really been using much, but I'm kind of thinking about making it active again because of the wedding. It's sweet with an extra T. So it's SWEETT_FITT. And then my regular Instagram is Therese Marie. So THERESEMARIE.
And I'll link those in the show notes for everyone. Well, thanks so much for being my first guest, and thanks for being my friend and coming on and sharing your story.
I'm so honored for you letting me be here. So thank you.
Cool. All right, well, let's go work out. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for spending your time with me and Theresa today. If you want more on my day-to-day life, you can find me on Instagram and YouTube under the username It's a Sam Thing. For Theresa, I will link all of her contact information in the show notes below, as well as mine, per usual. I hope you were able to glean some motivation and a new outlook on just getting in the gym and yoga and climbing and all of that. And I will also link our episode or our vlog workout on my YouTube channel so you can go watch us work out together. With that, I will leave you here and I'll talk to you next week.